What's good people, and welcome to the Silly, Nerdy, Sometimes Wordy podcast, and I'm your host, BK, and this is episode 29, network TV show return dates, post-strikes, and favorite characters leaving shows. What's up, everybody? I hope everybody is doing very well out there. Thank you for listening and coming back. And in this week's episode, I'll be going over favorite network TV, which includes NBC, CBS, ABC, and Fox. Those shows returning with their dates and multiple characters that are leaving their shows and final seasons of certain shows, as well as 911 Lone Star delayed. All right. And we are focusing on mainly TV on this episode, scripted TV shows that are finally returning. So let's not waste any time. Let's now get into the nerdy notes. And these nerdy notes, I'm focusing on multiple characters, actors, actresses that are leaving their shows and being replaced by new actors and actresses. Okay. And the majority of these, well, all of these are Dick Wolf shows focused. Let's start with Chicago PD. Chicago PD is going into season 11 upcoming here. And the actress Tracy Spredakis, if I mispronounce any of these names, I do apologize. The actress Tracy Spredakis, she plays the character of Detective Haley Upton. She will be leaving Chicago PD. She first appeared on Chicago PD in season 4. As I said, they're going into season 11. So at some point in this season, her character will be leaving the show. Now, if you've been watching Chicago PD, you know that Detective Jay Holstead, which is played by Jesse Lee Sulphur, his character left the show during season 10. It left the squad, the intelligence unit, and went overseas. And so Haley's character has not been good since he's left. So with her leaving the show, this works out in the best way because of her husband leaving the intelligence unit, is which the squad they work in. She can perhaps go and be with him, or they can figure out how to end that storyline, whether their characters gets a divorce or she goes overseas to be with him. But sadly, Detective Haley Upton is leaving the intelligence unit, and so that's that. So we don't know what episode she's leaving. That hasn't been released yet, but she's leaving the show. So when you see these characters in their last episodes and you don't see them come back, hopefully you will remember this episode and you won't be surprised when you don't see them again. Okay, moving on to Chicago Med. Chicago Med is going into season 9, and this one is a new cast member joining the show, a new doctor. The actor is Luke Mitchell. He's going to be playing Dr. Mitch Ripley. His credits, includes The Blind Spot, which was on NBC, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was on ABC. That's Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He was also in Big Sky, that was on ABC, and The Tomorrow People. And so he's going to be a new doctor, I believe, because one character left the show. And yeah, so he'll be replacing that doctor. He'll be a new character on season 9 of Chicago Med. Okay, moving on to Chicago Fire. Now, these two departures really hurt. I really like both of these characters. So this one is going to hurt. So Chicago Fire, they are going into season 12. And the actress Cara Camiller, she plays the character of Sylvie Brett, the paramedic at Firehouse 51. So her character, Sylvie Brett, will be leaving Firehouse 51. She's leaving the show. She came on to Chicago Fire back in season 3. So she's been there for a very long time. She has been in 193 episodes, and that doesn't even include all of the crossover episodes with Chicago Med and Chicago PD. So she's been there for a good while. But apparently the actress, she is leaving the show. So that's sad. However, again, the way the story is going on the show, it will work out. Because if you remember, at the end of season 11, the character Matt Casey, his character left the show during last season and then came back in some guest star spots. But he proposed to Sylvie Brett. The last scene of season 11, he proposed. Of course, they didn't get an answer. They just kind of left it at that with the question. So obviously, I think the answer will be yes. And the way it can work out is she can go back with Matt to Oregon and they can be together there, leaving Firehouse 51. So the way the story can end, her story can end, will kind of work out as well if they choose to do that. But all that to say that the character of Sylvie Brett is leaving Firehouse 51 at some point during the season. It hasn't been determined when, so she won't be there the entire season. Another character that is leaving Chicago Fire, the Firehouse 51, is the actor Alberto Rosonde. He plays the character of Blake Gallo. Now, he hasn't been there as long as Cara has. Of course, the character of Blake Gallo, he joined Chicago Fire in season 8. So he's been there a few seasons. Of course, Blake Gallo was the kind of the enthusiast, kind of jump in headfirst into everything firefighter that initially Bowden, the chief, did not want him on the squad. Eventually, he got on the squad, and he is leaving the show. So that is sad. Like I said, he's only been there a few seasons, but again, at some point he'll be leaving the show. It hasn't been released when he will be leaving, but he won't be there the entire season. All right, another Dick Wolf show. Let's go over to the Thursday nights. Law and Order. They're going into season 23. And the actor Jeffrey Donovan, who plays Detective Frank Cosgrove, he is going to be leaving the show, leaving Law and Order. He hasn't been there for too long. He only came on season 21, so he's only been there for 2 seasons. There's a replacement has already been named. He's going to be replaced by actor Reed Scott. And his credits include Blackish, the first Venom movie, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, that's on Amazon Prime. But I would say the majority of people know him from his character on Veep. He played Dan Egan. Now, Veep is a very good show. I enjoyed it very much. It was a good show on HBO. Very funny. Highly recommend you check out Veep. But the actor Reed Scott is going to be playing a detective that will replace Frank Cosgrove on Law and Order. Okay, moving on to Law and Order SVU. They are going into season 25. Wow, 25. And this one is not anyone leaving the show. This is someone returning. And that is actress Kelly Giddish. She returns as former detective Amanda Rollins. As we remember, she left the show on during season 24, and then she came back later on for a crossover. She left the squad, the SVU squad, as well as leaving the show. But she's going to be guest starring in the season premiere of episode 25. So that's just, someone returning, nobody leaving the show. Well, actually, let me take that back. I believe there is one person that is leaving SVU, and that is the new detective that just came on, the female detective, which the name escapes me. I don't have this written down, but I do know that she is leaving the show. She just became a regular, but she's already leaving. So unfortunately, yeah. So yeah, there is someone leaving that show. Okay, moving on. Let's go over to CBS and the FBI shows. So let's focus on FBI Most Wanted and a little bit of FBI. So first, FBI Most Wanted, the actress Alexa Danvelos. Her character is Special Agent Kristen Gaines. She first joined in season 3. She will be leaving FBI Most Wanted at some point during season 5. And she will be replaced by actress Chantel Van Stinton. She currently plays Special Agent Nina Chase on FBI. And so obviously she will be leaving FBI, but I think she will still be on FBI because her character, as well as Special Agent Scola, they just had a baby. So I'm sure she'll be referenced on there and have very little appearances unless they do another crossover. So, like I said, Agent Kristen Gaines, Special Agent Kristen Gaines, will be leaving FBI Most Wanted and will be replaced by Special Agent Nina Chase. So another example of it pays to work on a Dick Wolf show because you can go from one show to another show. So prime example there. Okay. And the last one is for FBI International. Actress Hida Reed. She plays Special Agent Jamie Kellett. She's number 2 in command on the Fly team on FBI International. She will be leaving the show. She's been there since season 1. And she's going to be leaving the show, the Fly team. She's going to be replaced by actress Christine Wolfe. She will be joining the cast as a series regular. Christine Wolfe has been in previous shows like The Ark and the recently ended Batwoman. Okay, so that is all of the people that are leaving the various Dick Wolf TV shows. So when you see these characters leaving and you don't see them again in the episodes after, you'll know why. Hopefully you will remember this episode's a lot of changes on those shows. And so now let's get into the main topic, which I should be able to go through this pretty quickly. And before I get into the shows returning, I will say that since the strike has ended, and by the way, the strike is officially over. It's been ratified. It's been voted on unanimously. So it's all signed, sealed, and delivered. The deal is now rock solid. It ends June 30th, 2026 for the SAG-AFTRA deal. So everything is on the up and up with that. And once that happened on November 9th, a lot of shows scheduled to went back into production. So they've started filming already right before and after Thanksgiving, and shows are currently filming right now so that they can get back to airing. Most of the shows are trying to get back on the air, and they've already announced that they'll be back on air as early as January all the way up to March. So that's good news. And also, I want to talk a little bit about how TV episodes are filmed, because it's not what you normally would think. So TV episodes are not all filmed at once, meaning, let's say if you have a 22 episode order, a 22 season long episode, which It used to be a lot. It's not as much these days, but it still happens. But you don't film all 22 episodes and then release them to air on TV. That's not how it works. So what happens is they film episodes in chunks. So let's say they'll film, I don't know, 3 to 5 episodes, 6 episodes. They'll film them, do the editing, scoring, mixing, maybe some reshoots, do all of that, and release it to be able to air. So, for instance, they can have episodes airing for the first couple episodes that are on air, but they'll still be working and filming future episodes, even the season finale, while episodes are currently airing. So they don't do it all at once. So that's just a nerdy note. Okay. Returning shows, let's get into some of them. And then these shows that I'm talking about are mostly all shows that I follow, I watch. So there are going to be some shows that I don't cover that are not included in here that a lot of people watch. So apologies for that. Let's start with Fox. Alert Missing Persons Unit Season 2. That is set to return on March 5th, 2024. And then I mentioned 911 Lone Star in my intro. That is going to be delayed for season 5. Apparently, it's going to be delayed to fall 2024 with only 12 episodes. I know that the strikes happen, but I still don't understand why it's pushed and why it's only 12 episodes, especially when you have more time to do it. But that is what they have decided. So you won't see 911 Lone Star until September, October of next year. Okay, moving on. ABC. Shows I'm going to focus on is Abbott Elementary, Season 3. That is going to be returning February 7th, 2024, and it will be returning with an hour-long episode for the first episode of Season 3. Also, The Good Doctor, Season 7 is returning February 20th, and that is going to be moving to Tuesday nights instead of Monday nights. So The Good Doctor will return on February 20th, 2024. And then the newly acquired 911, the original 911, Season 7, that is going to be on Thursday, March 14th, 2024. And then this is just in honorable mention. I don't watch the show at all. But Station 19, I know a lot of people do. They're premiering Season 7 on Thursday, March 14th. However, that will be its final season of Station 19. So it is coming to an end. And what I saw, it will only be 10 episodes. So Station 19 fans, it's coming to an end. I know it's a spinoff of Grey's Anatomy, but that is coming to an end for Station 19. Okay, let's get into NBC shows. And before I get into the returning shows, the 2 new shows that have been on, we're talking about Found and The Irrational. Both of those have been renewed for season 2. So they will continue. And I've been watching those 2 shows. I've enjoyed them. But they have been renewed for season 2. Okay, let's get into Dick Wolf. So all 3 of the Chicago shows will be returning as early as January 17th, on Wednesday, January 17th. So Chicago Fire, Med, PD will all be on Wednesday night, January 17th at 8, 9, and 10 p.m. And then on Thursday, January 18th, the Law and Order shows return on Thursday night. So Law and Order SVU, and Law and Order Organized Crime will all return on Thursday, January 18th. And they are currently filming, currently in production right now, all of these shows. And then CBS / Paramount Plus. They have their returning shows. They made a big announcement, sent out a press release. The majority of their shows, well, all of their shows are returning after the Super Bowl, February 11th, because if you don't know, the Super Bowl will be broadcast on CBS this coming season on February 11th. So CBS has the Super Bowl this season. So that's where you'll be able to watch the Super Bowl. And CBS decided to have their shows come on right after the week after the Super Bowl. Starting with the Monday after the Super Bowl, the NCIS shows, NCIS, the original season 21, and NCIS Hawaii will be coming on Monday, February 12th. And also NCIS Hawaii will have LL Cool J's character, Special Agent Sam Hanna. He will be a recurring character on NCIS Hawaii. Of course, if you remember, there was a big crossover last year with all four NCIS shows, and Sam Hanna will be on a recurring character on NCIS Hawaii. Of course, NCIS LA is where Sam Hanna characters come from. That show has ended. Moving on to Tuesday nights, Dick Wolf. February 13th, 2024, the FBI shows, they will all be returning on that Tuesday night. So FBI Most Wanted, and FBI International will be back on Tuesday, February 13th. And Friday, we get into some final seasons. February 16th, Season 7 of SWAT and Season 14 of Blue Bloods. They will be premiering on Friday, February 16th. However, these two shows are going into their final seasons. So there will be no more SWAT and no more Blue Bloods after these current seasons ends, unless another network picks them up. There's a small chance maybe it will happen with SWAT, but these two shows are going into their final seasons. It was announced for Blue Bloods a couple weeks ago, so 14 years, 14 seasons is pretty good for a show to be on for that long, but that's going into their final season. Unfortunately, I enjoy those two shows. And lastly, Sunday, February 18th, The Equalizer Season 4. That will be returning on February 18th. Of course, that stars Queen Latifah. And then Season 7 of SEAL Team. That was initially on CBS, but then in Season 6, it went to Paramount Plus, CBS's streaming service. That will be going on the Season 7. And unfortunately, that will be ending with Season 7 as well. And also, there was a movie in the works for SEAL Team. However, that is no longer happening. It's just going to end with Season 7 of SEAL Team. The premiere date of Season 7 of SEAL Team has not been released yet. However, they went into production in early December. So at some point, I'm thinking it will probably be back on the air in March, late February, March, maybe April. And that is all of the shows for those networks that will be returning, as well as all of the characters that are leaving the shows. Like I said, hopefully you'll remember this episode when you see that such and such is leaving the team, leaving the firehouse. You'll know why. And you won't be surprised when they leave, because I talked about it in this very episode. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you stayed around for it. I know that was a lot of information, but I thought it was important to get out. Fun information. And hope you enjoyed it. Please come back and see me sometime. Again, we're on Spotify. We're on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Audible, and anywhere you can get your podcast. So check me out there. I'm also on the Wisdom app as well. So check me out there as James W24. And yeah, that's all we have for today. And until next time, we will talk soon.